more on this, let's bring NCTV's chief political correspondent, Vassy Kapelos. There is a lot to break down here, Vassy. We know the U.S. is trying to expand its relationship with India. So where does this leave Canada? This is going to have major political implications.
Well, there was a world, I should say, Heather, in which Canada was doing something similar to the United States. In particular, think about its Indo-Pacific strategy, just recently released. The Indo and Indo-Pacific is India. The idea that the U.S. and other like-minded allies had is to strengthen and amplify their ties with India to counter China's growing, essentially, power in the world, and in particular in that part of the world. What happens now is the big question I have. I mean, it's hard to overstate just how significant this is. This isn't one of our adversaries like Iran, where we break off diplomatic relations and it's kind of expected given events. I mean, the severity of what's being alleged here is incredibly serious. It's not to be taken away from. But this is one of the world's biggest democracies. And essentially what we have today is a complete breakdown of diplomatic relations with that country. I was very curious to figure out exactly how it got to this point. I've been speaking to as many people as I can in and around, in particular, the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And in the RCMP, really what was being conveyed to me is that they felt they had no choice, particularly after what happened over the weekend, where the RCMP presented its evidence and essentially they allege India didn't want to see it, that they had no choice. They kept saying to me over and over again, than to make it public today and do it in the fashion they did. That's certainly the impetus, they said, behind today's announcement. But boy, oh boy, Heather, it's significant.
Absolutely. So, Vassy, how would you then characterize India's response and what plays out next?
I think it's really expected, and I feel like everyone is kind of digging their heels in, particularly, I mean, we understand the Canadian case, certainly from what we heard today, but I don't expect the impasse to solve itself. What I'll be watching for is, does a sort of mediator or interlocutor step forward, and is it the United States? We heard that Minister Jolie spoke to her counterpart in the United States. What comes of that? Are they the ones that get involved, that help break this impasse? I mean, that's a big question mark for me, Heather.
Vassy Kapelos joining us this evening. Thank you.